pro-gun want to fundraise on it.
Any change coming out of this?
You know, I hope the change is in the mental health area, quite frankly. My friend Tim Murphy, who's a congressman, has a great piece of legislation.
Mental health professional as well.
Yeah, mental health, doctorate in psychology. But he has a great saying. He said the problem's not what's in their hand, it's what's in their head. And we have not taken advantage of the billions of dollars we spend.
But then how do you answer the question? You know, every single country in the world has crazy people.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. I mean, look, we are leading the world in these gun deaths, and we're not doing anything about it. And people argue that because we can't stop every gun death, we can't stop any. That's not true. We could do background checks. 90% of Americans believe that we can. We can eliminate these high-capacity magazines that allow them to spray a whole theater or something like that. There's a lot of things that we can do that we need to do. We should let the CDC give us statistics on how bad this gun carnage is.
What are you going to do about the fact that there's so many guns out there, that there's such a huge black market? I'm not getting the laws were so strict against my clients, but they always got guns.
Because they come across the boundary. That's why. So we've got to have.
But they're still going to.
So we've got to. Nope. We've got to do more than just city by city. This is something where we need a national policy, and we've got to treat it like it is a health issue, a disease, which it is.
You know, Matt, the president did hit on something that there does seem to be almost a ritual that we all participate in after this kind of violence. You know, we see the sides break down, we give it the coverage, we talk about who the shooter was, we focus on the victim. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Partly because we're having the wrong debate. This is the wrong debate to me. I mean, we're conflating a couple of different issues. Because there's this debate about gun safety and what do you do with guns, regulating ammunition, gun crime. There's things you can do around that, and the gun lobby's blocked it, and maybe it would have some effect. This is a very specific thing. This is what we saw in Arizona. It's what we saw in Connecticut. Saw this week. It is a clearly mentally ill person who has signaled violence, has access to a lot of weapons, who for some reason gets to keep those weapons, either because the people around them and the people who see it feel powerless to stop it or just won't do anything about it or are in some kind of denial. And in this case, right, when we talk about civil liberties, say post 9/11, we've had a very robust debate about civil liberties versus national security. This comes down to an issue of civil liberties. How do you balance the clear mental instability of someone who has access to guns against civil liberty laws that keep you from going in and taking them away? That's the debate we need to have.
You saw the shooter's father lamenting yesterday about how could he possibly have 14 guns in Congress. And you're talking about
But he hasn't seen his son in 10 years. He's not a very attentive father.
2 years, I think it was. But if you're going to focus on mental health, what could be done? Should there be forced institutionalization?
There's literally legislation, in Congress right now, and we should begin in the places where we can agree. You know, Republicans and Democrats don't have to fight about mental health. They can agree on mental health. I would argue picking up Tim Murphy's bill, which would be the first significant federal legislation in this area in decades, and moving that forward in a bipartisan way, that's a real contribution.
I think we should move ahead on mental health, but I think